I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things, gonna make a fucking name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain. I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent, and it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots, if I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. That energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic. Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fight me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself. Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, you know where to find me. And if you go and
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the most interactive wrestling stream on the interweb. Back, finally, after a hiatus or two. The hair is still fucked up, but I'm still here giving you my shitty to awesome wrestling takes. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I see some familiar faces, some familiar profiles in the chat. We got Eric saying, "What's up, Big Om?" Hello to you, Eric. The GOAT is back. You are back. You are the GOAT. I am but your humble servant, Wall Street Money. Good to see you, my man. Well, we got Wall Street Money. We got Mishal in the chat. Hey, Omer, welcome back, brother. Hope you're doing well during this whole month of Ramadan. It is crazy what's going on in Abu Dhabi because it is crazy right now in Abu Dhabi because everything going on with Iran. Talking to you is an escape for me. Of course, my thoughts, prayers going out to everyone in Iran, in all the civilians in Dubai and everywhere else as this horrible, unnecessary war continues on. It just goes to show you how far the warmongers will go. But I hope that we can continue on and just talk about wrestling and, talk about the fun side of things, which is what we are here to do. Greetings from Amsterdam from Jamie. What's up, Jamie? Thank you, my friend. Thought you died. No, I didn't die. I just, I'm just busy. I'm just really busy. But you know what I have been doing? And if you do miss my content, if you do miss what I do and hearing my shitty takes in real time, you know what you guys can do? You guys can go over to youtube.com/Essel Vibes. Yup. Let me pull it up because I didn't really realize I was supposed to do this, but I am. Anyway, but you guys can go over youtube.com/Wrestle Vibes. If you guys want to check out all of my latest content over there as well. Big community building over there. We're going to continue to do it. So Hope everyone goes over there and checks it out. But today we're here for Big Ohm Live. Cat, what's up, my man? Good evening to you too, sir. Hopefully you're doing well. Did you watch SmackDown with Cody Raheem Rhodes buried #Justice for Drew? I did. And you know what? I'll get my thoughts on it out. I don't hate it because no matter what you think, right? Like the WWE creative is what it is. It's always going to be this. The reality is that Cody versus Randy is automatically probably the most interesting thing they could currently do with WWE in that world championship picture. I don't think that Drew versus, even though I would like to see it, I don't trust WWE to book Drew versus, Jacob Fatu for the title. I don't trust WWE to book a main event version of that run. I just don't think it's possible. It should be. That should be the expectation. My expectation, though, for WWE with Triple H in charge in the TKO era is vastly different than what should be happening, though. Like, you have to, at a certain point, you have to be a little realistic, And maybe that's my folly of being a realistic wrestling fan, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to get worked up over, Drew or Cody or any of this stuff because I kind of know the beast I'm dealing with as far as booking. Drew is literally filming a movie post-Mania, so he had to lose. Listen, they could have worked something out. They could have done an injury angle. They could have worked something out. I think the plan was always to have Cody in some capacity be the champ going into Mania. That was always been the plan. This Drew thing was like a little bit of a, it depends who you ask. My theory, and again, unsubstantiated, reckless speculation. I want to be clear about this. My theory is, the original plan was Cody versus Roman. I don't think that there were certain people in WWE, and that would probably include Cody Rhodes, who we were looking forward to that, and Roman possibly getting his win back. Then this idea caught traction of Drew winning the belt, causes Roman to go off into a different direction with Punk. Now Cody is back in the quote-unquote main event of Mania, but he's really not. I don't think he's going to headline WrestleMania. That's definitely going to be the Punk versus Roman match. But I will be headlining this show right here, Big Ohm Live. Be sure to smash that thumbs up if you haven't already done so. Let's hit that like button, get this going, so we can talk about our main stories of the day. We got Pat McAfee being done with WWE. There was a topic of a video I did that bombed horribly, so I will just talk about it here. If you guys want to go check that out after this, feel free to. But we'll talk about that. I'll talk about Pat McAfee. I'll talk about the even bigger news of the launch of the first ever AEW streaming service. It has happened. AEW is laying the groundwork to cannibalize their pay-per-view models, at least internationally. And boy, oh boy, if you are an international viewer of AEW, you will be getting a sweet deal. So we'll get into all of that much more as we go. But first, we got to get into the smaller stories. We got to get into the stuff you guys want to talk about. If you guys want to leave a super chat or become a member for $5 a month, you can do that and get your chats read out. There is this one story that I do want to call out from Corey Brennan and FightfulSelect.com that I paid attention to, and I think it's finally kind of coming out what's happening here. So those spoken with on the European independent scene believe Leon Slater has been protecting himself with his absence from the independent scene since November. Now, Leon Slater is someone who was at least at one point not only a mainstay on the British independent scene and the independent scene period, but also a mainstay in TNA. He's been making less and less appearances on TNA. He just kind of vanished off TV. He's not making appearances on the independent scene. There's talk of protecting himself. Pretty big telltale sign that he's probably moving forward with the understanding that he's going to get a contract with WWE once his current deal expires. And I think that would make sense. It would make sense that he would be, kind of saving himself for that, kind of making sure that he doesn't get injured. Like, if we're being honest, This is your first big like money deal, right? If you're a guy like Leon Slater, it's your first big money deal, and you want to make sure that you protect that and you protect yourself, because if you get injured now, WWE's not going to come back with a deal if you haven't signed. Then you're kind of screwed. So if I'm Leon Slater, like I'd probably be doing a similar thing. Like I mean, you can call it whatever you want. Until you get paid in this business, man, it is, you got to look out for yourself. You have to look out for yourself. I mean, you always have to look out for yourself, but you can't risk it. So I understand it. Right now, I question every decision Triple H makes. Well, yeah, I mean, it is, I always used to say that as a fan watching live, I never had the fortune. I was born in the late 90s, so I didn't have the misfortune, I should say, watching a lot of the new generation live. I've gone back and watched most of it. But as a fan who watches, right, and who's been watching live, I think the latter, like 2025 was genuinely the worst year of WWE creatively since 2019. And I think like 2019 WWE is like the depths of like creative hell you can get to. I mean, outside of like, things like that are just absolute hell, like inside the devil's like playground, literally, like 2000, 2001 WCW. But it was so bad. It was so bad. And I think 2025 is as close to that as you can get. I think in many ways, the at least like you can say in 2019, it was a dog shit attempt, but there was attempts made to try to alleviate certain problems with creative. I don't think those attempts are being made. I mean, they're just coasting off of this idea of the brand, and they are bigger than Disney, and they're in that way, they are getting their wish. They being WWE, TKO, all these billionaires and millionaires, they're getting their way. And only a senator from Vermont who is a curmudgeon can help. No, anyway. In your opinion, what's the coolest wrestling finisher? Like, the coolest looking, I love Sol Ruka's finisher. I love, I mean, like, listen. Like, Will Ospreay's entire moveset is, like, God tier. I am... Everything from the Hidden Blade to the Tiger Driver 91, amazing. I'm a huge fan of, Bandito's moveset as well. Andrade's moveset just involves him aura farming, so huge fan of that too. But I'd probably go with Will Ospreay or Sol Ruka. Oh, we got a $10 super chat here. Huge thank you to Gerard Clark. I don't think that the PS guy takeover of WB. Oh, okay. You're the Paramount takeover of WBD. I don't like the Paramount takeover of WBD. Sorry, I'm fasting for Ramzan and no coffee. We're working through this because David Ellison's synergy plan will cost thousands of jobs within WBD. Not to mention the TKO Group wants AEW out of this merger, but that's secondary. First of all, thank you for the super chat. Here's my read on the merger as someone who's like studied it and kind of like followed these business trends. Like, I think there's definitely going to be cost cut and like jobs that are going to be cut, right? That always happens with every merger. No matter what anyone tells you, no matter what, like, we don't anticipate, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. Anytime the two companies merge, anytime there's like an acquisition or something like that, you are going to see, attempts be made to reduce overhead, to reduce spending. That is just always going to be the case. It happened when TKO and merged WWE and UFC. Those kind of merged into a more cohesive unit. It's always going to happen. And there's going to be a situation eventually in the next few years when this merger actually goes through where you have people in WBD who, Paramount, or like they're going to be Paramount people. Like, it's going to be one company. So Paramount's going to want people who understand that vision better than the WBD vision, which is like, passe at this point. So for them, what's going to happen? You're going to see a lot of those WBD people who have that history or whatever, work with AEW, they're going to go, and you're going to be met with an entirely new crop of people. That being said, AEW is still, I think, one of the more valuable properties that WBD owns. You factor in also that WBD, we don't know which part, which is going to be a little bit complicated, but overall, WBD, the entity, owns at least some stake in AEW, according to reports. And I believe those reports. I think it's certainly less than 10%, because if it's anywhere like 10% or above, they have to disclose it. They have not disclosed it, which means probably less than 10% stake. Tony Khan will always probably have, like, the majority stake and the say in all business decisions. I think that's the way it's always going to be set up until they ever go public. All that being said, though, I think the way that it hurts AEW is if you get all these Paramount people in there and they're like, well, is there some way we can supplement the views we would get from, like, a Dynamite or whatever, or a Collision or whatever, with something else? Like when those ideas start, when there's a new direction for TBS, new direction for TNT, new direction for Max, does that direction involve AEW? I don't think that the TKO influence is that huge of a deal. I really don't. It would make a little bit more sense if Paramount had, a WWE partner or a WWE thing, like a WWE contract. They don't. They have a UFC contract. But I don't foresee that being an issue. And even if it was, even if WWE, like, let's say WWE had SmackDown on CBS or Paramount or whatever, I see that being less of an issue in the grand scheme of things than it used to be. Number one, because, like, these media conglomerates, like there's really only like 3 left, and Paramount's like the biggest one at this point. I don't foresee Paramount saying, I mean, listen, like, for them it's about the views, right? For them it's about money. Like, unless they have some sort of existing exclusivity agreement, which I don't foresee those being like leveraged as much as they have been traditionally. Unless that exists, I don't think it's going to be an issue for AEW moving forward. Like, I think there's a world where you could see AEW and WWE on the same, like, under the same umbrella as far as, like, the network, the American network at least. They should have done Cody versus Randy 2 years ago. I mean, they've been teasing it for 2 years, yeah. Why hasn't the women main evented a pay-per-view? You tell me. Steph or Rhea Jade. Oh, Liv, Steph, Rhea Jade should have night 1 main event. I think Liv versus Steph should. I think Stephanie Vancouver versus Liv Morgan should main event night 1, and then you do Roman and CM Punk night 2. Right now, Triple H is the Zack Snyder of pro wrestling. I don't know about you, Homer, but I don't like Man of Steel. You have to give the audience a good creative journey, justify every decision. Yeah, I mean, right now, if Triple H is James Snyder, James Snyder. Is Triple H is Zack Snyder, then Tony Khan is James Gunn. Is it still going to cost $50 for pay-per-views? Well, let's get into that. Let's talk about it. Let's find out about it together. Because today was the official launch, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all genders, of My AEW. Let's take a look and a listen to the launch video.
An entirely new world of all elite wrestling is now open to you. Introducing My AEW. Professional wrestling as only AEW can deliver. The way you want it, when you want it. Stream the past.
It's a revolution of pro wrestling.
Live in the present.
I am the revolution.
And experience a whole new future. This is My AEW. Go to MyAEW.com now to unlock your new world today.
So that was the commercial that AEW released, and we have a lot of details. This is their first, like, real big foray into the self-streaming service scene. We have a lot of more information that's come out. This, according to AEW right here, is the base structure of how this is going to work as far as payment goes. So again, for international audiences, meaning outside of the United States, and I will go over which international markets this is in case you want to use a VPN, which is linked below. And you can get yourself a nice little discount from NordVPN if you hit that link below. But here's what we got. My AEW is going to be, they have 3 different tiers, 3 different pricing options, $7.99 a month. And with that, you get the big, larger, like My AEW Fast channel, which is like their, essentially just the AEW channel. Like whatever they have playing on the live stream is what you get. AEW Podcast, Dynamite and Collision, Ring of Honor TV, every Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and also the AEW TV archives. If you go up to the $20 per month, $20 US dollars per month, you get everything I just said included in from part 1 or from tier 1, plus you get one AEW pay-per-view airing during the same current month, so that you get one AEW pay-per-view per month, which is usually what they have. You also get select AEW pay-per-view archives. Now, I've checked this, and I'll take a look with you guys in a second, but they currently only have a couple of pay-per-views on this. They don't have all of them yet. I assume that there's something to be done about, like, you know, their international deals as far as, like, the archival stuff for this pay-per-view, or for these pay-per-views, but you get some select AEW pay-per-views from the archives. And then there's the annual tier, which you can save yourself a couple of bucks here compared to the monthly $20 a month. You just pay one fee, $120, and you get everything included from tier 2 plus every single AEW pay-per-view as well. So, whereas in the past, you'd probably be paying, you know, $50 a month if you're in the United States for a pay-per-view, or in the past, you'd be paying, you know, $25 if you're international. You'd be paying like $20. You'd get every AEW Collision, every AEW Dynamite Live, and seemingly every pay-per-view. The one question I still do have after looking at this is, are all pay-per-views live? And it seems to be the case that they are, but TBD there. And luckily, we have people on this who are a lot more vetted than me and who have a lot more time during the day than I do, because I work for a living, believe it or not. But shout out to Brandon Thurston from WrestleNomics and Post Wrestling, who posted this chart that gives you an idea of the pricing structure and what's included. It's a great chart, honestly. Shout out to Brandon Thurston for putting this together. Let me see if I can actually get the entire thing on the screen here. So here we go. So the markets where this is available: U.S., Canada, or actually, no, the United States, you can only access the Fast channel. In Canada, you can only watch standalone pay-per-views live. So this is where VPNs become important. I'll get to the VPN plug in a second. But if you're in the UK, if you're in the EU, Ireland, Germany, France, Italy, etc., if you're in Australia, if you're well, actually, no, fuck you if you're in India, I guess, because you're not getting it. If you're in Japan, not fuck you if you're in Mexico, I guess, because you're not getting it. If you're in the Philippines, if you're in South Africa, if you're in Pakistan, shout out to the motherland. If you're in Brazil, you get access to My AEW and the pricing structures that follow. It is the same amount of money that I went over just now everywhere. So, essentially, for $20 a month, or actually, let me do some math. Yeah, actually, $20 a month. If you want to do the monthly structure, you'll get basically all the AEW content you could want. But if you do $120 per month, and that's 120 USDs, you can get for $10 per month, $9.99. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the $9.99? It looks like AEW went full $9.99 with this. For $9.99 per month, you get everything if you just make one bulk payment. So, very interesting stuff happening here. Very interesting stuff happening here. Of course, though, I know what you guys are all wondering. Well, I'm not in any of these regions. I'm not in, you know, the UK. I'm not in the EU. I'm in Canada, like Wall Street money. What am I gonna do? Don't worry, because, buddy, oh boy, do I have a deal for you. Because thanks to your boy and his friends and partners over at NordVPN, I'm going to help you guys out. I'm going to help you guys save some money. I'm going to help you guys prepare for this new reality. We are in the reality era. I can't. We're in the reality era. It's crazy. But guys, you guys can check out the link in the description, or I'm just going to actually post the link here. If you guys check out this link, go over to nordvpn.com. Using this link, you can sign up today and you can save yourself a whole bunch of money with NordVPN, getting up to 73% off, depending on which region of the world you are in, up to 73% off when you use my link, when you use my code, when you use NordVPN. That's all you got to do, and you can get yourself access to AEW plus my AEW, whatever this thing is called. You can also help yourself out and get access to other events that are cheaper. If you're not a huge fan of the way WWE is pricing you in some of these markets you're in, that's fine. You don't need to watch on ESPN. You don't need to watch on Netflix. You can find a way. There's a couple of countries still on the network. Go find yourself the network again. NordVPN. Use the link in the comments. Use the link in the description, and you can save yourself money there. You can save yourself money here, and you can have a great time watching wrestling. I personally am going to be switching over to this because it's a whole hell of a lot cheaper than me paying for Max. So I'm definitely going to be doing this. You should too. You should too. NordVPN.com. Use the link below. But like, my honest thoughts about this are a little bit like it's a very bold move for AEW. It's a risky move. It's a very risky move because one of the things that AEW has been very hesitant of doing is cannibalizing their pay-per-view models. Granted, most of their pay-per-views come from the United States. I assume there's going to be some level of spillover with VPNs and whatnot of people who are going to like look at this deal and be like, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. I got to go get in on this, right? Because it's the difference between paying like, $35 to $50 a month for a pay-per-view or, 10 to 20. So I think for a lot of people, that's going to be a decision point. I think for AEW, as far as the popularity of the brand, as far as like the accessibility, this has the potential to be more accessible. And it's certainly good if AEW wants to market itself as the company that is more affordable, more accessible and all that. This is a good first step. That being said, from a business standpoint, it is a risk because you are taking that first step to cannibalizing your pay-per-view model. And we need to remember, the WWE network, as great as it was for us hardcore wrestling fans, as big as WWE was, it was in many ways a failure for a couple of years. They fired the executives who came up with that idea because it was not performing to the level they wanted. And maybe those expectations were wrong, but the network at its height only had, I believe, between 1 million and 1.5 million subs. They were always hovering around 1 million subs, right? And $9.99 for that, like $10, you're generating what, $100 million in revenue? Well, actually, not even 100. $10 a month. $10 million in revenue? It's crazy. Crazy. Like right now, AEW, I mean, if this is the direction AEW is going, they're probably going to take a bit of a hit on business. And again, I if they end up using this in the United States, I think they're going to take a hit on business. And if that's the risk you're willing to play, that's fine. And if the longer term game is, getting a rights deal with Prime, getting a rights deal with Paramount, getting a rights deal, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But it is, from a business perspective, pretty risky. Because right now, I believe the estimate is they're getting somewhere between 20 million-ish, is a conservative, rough estimate based off the numbers we know from their pay-per-views. Are you willing to bite that bullet? Are those margins enough? Because right now, AEW, I think their operating budget, or as far as their expenses go, it's like somewhere between like 150 to 190, right? That's the case. I don't know if there's that much room for them. But again, it'd be an interesting move. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find out. Listen. $120 a year for all AEW events. Psh, firing up NordVPN right now. Let's go. But it's very interesting. They also now have this. This is breaking news live on air. The My AEW app is a thing. The My AEW app is a thing. So they are going all in on this, seemingly. But crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff. Let me know what you guys think, though, in the chat. Be sure to smash that thumbs up if you haven't already. What a crazy time. What a crazy time this is, dude. You have AEW starting a streaming service. You have WWE being not being a big proponent of affordability. Well, here we go. We got some reporting from FightfulSelect.com. Sean Ross Sapp and company. Let's zoom in and find out what's going on here. AEW sources indicate My AEW is more of an international play than anything else, and that will not affect HBO Max. That the HBO Max deal that's in place. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I do think that. Look, you're gonna have some people who are not gonna order the pay-per-view in the traditional way. I think most people probably still will, for sure. I think the majority of people in the United States, which is where they get most of their pay-per-view buys, are gonna order it in the normal way you would. But you're gonna have some bleed off. I'm gonna be doing that. Fuck, I'm not paying like $50 pay-per-view when I'm gonna get it for 10. Fuck that. But it does seem to be, I mean, it would make sense for this to be the international play, to have it all in one place. Easier for them to manage. You don't have to deal with all these different contracts and just different rights and whatnot. In that way, it is better to be the direct, distributor. But oof. It's gonna be interesting. Hope and I know as a long time Peacock watcher, a long time a streamer of WWE content, that guys, sometimes these apps, these things, they lag, bro, and it's mad annoying. The lag is mad annoying. Everything's mad annoying. For some reason, y'all's chats are not coming up as they should, so I'm gonna try to refresh the chat real quick. Let's see if they pop up now. Apologies if they haven't. But we do have some chats here. Are they going to boo Cody Rhodes this Friday? It depends which city they're in. Is it true that ESPN Unlimited is now free as long as you have ESPN Plus? ESPN Unlimited, ESPN Plus are the same thing. AJ winning the title from Ambrose was probably the best during that era. The reality era? Yeah, that was good stuff. Business, says Wall Street Money. Michelle says, Omer, if WWE gets worse, do you think Triple H is going to get fired or will resign? The only way Triple H gets fired is if they can draw a direct line from creative to TKO not making as much money as they need to. That is it. Otherwise, I would expect Triple H to always be there. And you should expect Triple H to always be there. It's just the way it is, guys. That's just simply the way it is. Like, it is a profit-driven business. It's a profit-driven company. If they're making profits, Triple H will always be there. If they're not, they'll reassess. That's what's that old Tupac song? That's just the way it is. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Things are always gonna be the same. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Hey, man, that's just the way it is. Man. What else going on? Pat McAfee's done with WWE. You guys want to talk about that? You guys want to talk about Pat McAfee being done with WWE? Chat? Let's talk about Pat McAfee being done with WWE. So, I made a video about this that like 4 people watched, so I guess no more long form videos? Question mark? I don't know. We'll see. But I made a video about this earlier, but I'll cover it right here again. Pat McAfee seemingly done with WWE, actually confirming that he's done with WWE in a video on IG. So let's take a look and a listen here.
It's a wonderful thing. Will I be returning to the WWE in the future? I don't think you ever say never, especially with WWE. But right now, it does not feel like it is something, it's supposed to have. It doesn't feel like, feels like that business has kind of passed me by a little bit. I grew up loving it, dreamed to work in it, feel honored that I had the opportunity to work alongside the GOAT, Michael Cole. But I feel like the business is in a good spot without me. I'll continue to watch.
So that's Pat McAfee on his status with WWE. I mean, I could very well see Pat coming in for like a couple of one-off appearances or something like that. I don't think he's going to be outside of the WWE family. Don't expect him in AEW anytime soon. But to me, this means he's not going to be a commentator for them anymore going forward. He's not going to be doing that kind of stuff. He's going to be Pat McAfee doing his sports stuff and then, maybe making a couple of appearances. Thoughts on Max Crosby trading to the Ravens? Greatest day in the history of my fanhood. I love Max Crosby as a player. I think that the Ravens, well worth the 2 first-round picks. We weren't going to do jack shit with those picks. Let's go win a ring, bro. Let's win a fucking ring. Please. I just want to see the Ravens win a fucking Super Bowl. Please. I just want the Ravens to win a Super Bowl. Please. Oh, God, please. I need to stop cursing this stuff for a while. Who cares? Pat McAfee quit WWE. Yep, he did. AEW is doing the right business move without sacrificing the creative energy. I hate the business people thinking they have to adjust creative processes to make money. Omar, where is this attitude coming from? Coming from greedy billionaires. Greedy billionaires who only care about money, who only care about profits, who only care about impressing corporate douchebags who, haven't spent a day in the real world, who haven't gone to buy their own groceries in years. Yeah, that's what it is. It really just comes down to this. It's out of touch, old people who just care about money. Profit-driven ghouls. Is it true that ESPN Unlimited is free as long as you have ESPN Plus? I believe so. I'm pretty sure those got merged into one. They got merged into one app. Tua signing with the Falcons is crazy, by the way. Just like my MAGA goat, Tua. My MAGA goat. My concussion-riddled, CTE-riddled goat, Tua, just getting cooked. Just getting cooked. What else you guys want to talk about? What else is on your mind? I've covered the main topics. I got some time. Let's get those chats in. If you want to guarantee your question or statements are out on the air, please leave a super chat. Help donate to the cause. Become a member. $5 a month. You can help keep the channel going. But this is absolutely insane, though. This is absolutely insane. I'm tracking NFL free agency, and this is crazy. Isaiah Likely signed with the Giants. I think, if I'm not mistaken, did Justin Tucker was that a meme account that I saw? Justin Tucker signed with the Giants too. Please tell me that's funny. If true, that is hilarious. If true. But I keep forgetting this is a wrestling channel. NXT Vengeance Day was the last PLE for current Peacock deal. Where do you think NXT PLEs land? I'm not sure. I wasn't even tracking that part of the story. It's very well possible that that's true. If it is, I think I see them going being bundled into being bundled into Netflix probably. I don't know if that's going to be an ESPN deal, but I could certainly see that being bundled into some existing deal they have. We got a quote from Tony Khan about my AEW. You guys want to read that? You guys want to talk about that? Let's talk about it. So this is Tony Khan, seemingly one of his first comments about the my AEW streaming deal, saying, "We are excited to partner with..." Oh shit! What is this? Kisway. Kiswee. My apologies for mispronouncing that. We are excited to partner with Kiswee for the launch of the new My AEW platform. Here we go again. Kiswee. Kiswee has set the standard for digital content across all forms of sports entertainment, and we are proud to have AEW alongside other leaders in this space as we continue to evolve the platform and best serve fans around the world. Which do you rather see, Hater win the Owen, win the belt in England, or Brawling Birds win the tag titles? I think that the latter is probably closer to what's actually going to happen. I would love to see Jamie Hayter win the world title again, though. Have a good one, man. I'm heading to a buddy's house. Shout out to Leslie. Have fun. You got Sarah. I predict there will be 3 returns at Revolution, at least 2. Do you think Ospreay will return on Sunday? I don't see Ospreay returning on Sunday. I don't think Ospreay is going to return until the Owen Hart Cup. That's my prediction. I don't know who else could be in line to return. Probably Kenny. I think even though he's been only gone for like 2 weeks, I think Kenny is probably going to return. And they're going to set up the big match between Swerve and Kenny at Dynasty. Actually, no, Kenny can't return because he's not going to be there. He's going to be at a conference. So yeah, no Kenny return. I don't know. I don't know about any other returns, to be honest. Maybe Britt. Possibly Britt. Tony said that he expects her to be back, so maybe Britt Baker. Perhaps we get Mercedes back. She hasn't been seen since New Year's. It would make sense. LA, Money time. Isn't the Owen coming up? Owen starts up in end of April, I believe. So he runs until Double or Nothing, so end of April. So we got about a little over a month. Had a dream, I hadn't made it. Na na na, Sasha Banks, baby. Can I go down? Listen, I will say, superior theme. As much as I do love Mercedes, superior theme. I do love the yes, y'all. So fresh, y'all. Snoop Dogg and Sasha Banks, we the best, y'all. Make way for the new coming through. And if you in the way, let me say she coming for you. Man's up, hands up in the air. When I say hell, you say yeah. Hell, yeah. Hell, S-A-S-H-A, how you do that deal? She's a legit boss, but y'all knew that. The big boss dog, yeah, I had to do that. That's my family, and she bow down to the new queen of WWE. Anyway, I'm sorry. Stemmed hard there. Mina return. Sure, why not? Why not? But no, Sasha, I think Sasha is the most likely. This is crazy. This is crazy. The Triller TV email guy dealing with a refund request they're getting hit with. Oh, yeah, this is bad for Triller. AEW is like one of their biggest. Ooh, this is bad for Triller. This is bad for Triller. Everyone's talking about my AEW Plus right now. Or my AEW. It's crazy, guys. What a time. What a time. It is party time all the time. Oh, gosh darn it. All right. You guys want to talk about anything else? I got about like 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. We can talk, chop it up, pop out and show. Do our thing. What's on your guys' mind? Oh, wait. I just saw this deal. Look at this sweet piece of merch right here. They got the CM Punk Seattle Seahawks edition. That's actually fire. I can't even lie. That's fire. I thought the Owen Hart Cup tournament is the summer this year. I mean, it is always it's always in the lead up to Double or Nothing. It's always been in the lead up to Double or Nothing. So I don't know. I don't expect it to be different this year. I think one of two people will win the Owen because the Owen men's. I can see Swerve or Ospreay winning. I think I would go with Ospreay as the odds-on favorite to win from a booking standpoint. I'm not sure about the women's. Mercedes would be a big one. Because that is one, like she needs to redeem herself and win the world title. And what better stage to do it on than at All In. But we'll see. Hello to you, too. Hello, people. Hello to all the new people that are probably joining from youtube.com/WrestleVibes. Because I've shared this link out to all those wonderful people as well. This is where I go live and do fun stuff and talk about graps in an extended way. Someone is going to be cursed tonight on Raw. Tom. I will say that was like my favorite part of the boys had me pull up into Discord, and that was my favorite part of Raw. Speaking of the boys, shout out to Just Brian, shout out to Kenny Bomb, shout out to Kero Valentine, all of my favorite 2K creators. I don't play the game, but gosh darn it, I support their content. You should too. Aw, this is nice. You're dumb. You're so dumb. Hey man, I like Danhausen. I love that Danhausen. Like nothing could make me hate Danhausen. There are things that could definitely make me hate Danhausen, but nothing he could do in wrestling could make me hate Danhausen. Anyway, you guys could make me love you more, because right now we got 29 people watching, only 17 likes. Let's get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Pump them up. Pump it up. Pump it up. Do you think they announce Ospreay's return or leave him as the wild card? Yeah, I think he's the wild card. He's the Joker for the Owen. That's the way I see it. They could have him lose the Owen, which would be very interesting for All In. That would be very interesting. Because I also could see a situation where maybe they do the winner at Double or Nothing gets a shot at maybe a Forbidden Door, which I believe is supposed to be the pay-per-view between All In and Double or Nothing, but we'll see. We shall see. Zilla Fatu is going to get Punk soon. Uh-oh. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think Zilla's definitely got a lot of interest from the industry right now. There's a lot of interest in Zilla Fatu right now. Oh, my goodness. Do we have more wrestling news? There's always wrestling news to talk about, guys. Always wrestling news. Lineup for Raw. Let's see if this is actually interesting. Oh, this is my favorite thing. Lineup for Raw. Penta versus OG El Grande Americano for the IC title. Yo, if Penta's title reign is 1 week, let me tell you right now, go over to youtube.com/WrestleVibes immediately after Raw. There will be content. There will be content. And there will be hot takes. If Penta loses. We got Penta versus Chad Gable, Asuka versus Lyra versus Io versus Bayley versus Ivy Nile versus Raquel Rodriguez in a Women's Intercontinental Championship #1 Contenders Gauntlet to decide who faces AJ Lee for the belt. And Obafemi versus Rusev, my boy. My boy will put over Obafemi, but didn't want to put over... Not going to say it. Shout out to Rusev for getting paid. Was Adam Cole already injury prone before going to AEW, or was that fact AEW style? It was not the AEW style. Like, he was wrestling the same style in WWE and AEW. He's not injury prone, or he wasn't injury prone before. It wasn't a thing. Like, he had I want to be clear. The first injury he had was from a concussion, and like the concussion thing is just, it's not even a style thing. It's simply a part of the business as a whole. Those are very serious. They're taken very seriously. It like ended Bryan's career for a bit. It almost ended Cole's for the first time there. And he's had a flare-up of the concussions. So I wish him the best. I hope he's okay. But I don't, as long as he has concussion symptoms and post-concussion symptoms, he's not going to be back. Is there an app for this AEW streaming service, or is it the website? You can go to myaew.com, and there should be an app. I haven't checked it myself, but everyone online is saying that there is an app. I thought Adam Cole had an injury while he was in NXT. Ospreay is definitely the favorite to win the Owen, and yeah, he should definitely be the wild card. I mean, he had an injury, but it wasn't like a long-term injury. Omar, does your PR experience help you analyze wrestling storylines like you... did you feel the fans would be made about Cody winning the belt again? I mean, my PR experience probably helps me more with like understanding why some of the background decisions are made, and like at the business level especially. Sometimes that bleeds into creative. Most of the time it doesn't. But that's less of a PR thing. It's more of just like the way wrestling works. You know, do I hear things? Sure. But it doesn't usually affect me personally in like my viewing of the wrestling. I think like I have definitely a more realist perspective on the way I view wrestling when I'm talking about it with people. When I'm watching it, I'm in it. When I'm watching it 9 out of 10 times, I'm in it, and I want to be captured by what I'm seeing on the screen. Happens most of the time, doesn't always happen. Did I feel like the fans would be mad about Cody getting the belt again? Yeah. Wrestling fans are always going to be mad about these types of things. You can tell like there's a bit of the tide is kind of turning on Cody as a babyface. I think WWE have no plans this year to turn him heel. It's probably going to be a next year thing if ever. But I mean, yeah, I don't see them changing. Wait, where are you looking? The New Cats Republic. Oh, where are Ludwig and New Cats Republic? I mean, they're probably gonna run an angle with them on Raw tonight. Is my AEW available in the UK or Ireland? Yes, both. We got Gerard in the chat. Thank you for the $10 dono, by the way. If the Paramount and WBD fails to approve a necessary loss, I hope David Zaslav will renegotiate and with Netflix and or bring a foreign investor to finance WBD. P.S. Tony Khan also needs to elevate Tai J as singles and tag team. I mean, Anna Jay, I think I would not be surprised if he left AEW, but we will see. As far as like, you know, like failing to approve, it would take a lot for this not to go through. Like the biggest hurdle at this point, right, would be the government getting involved. And Donald Trump has shown that, you know, he really he likes the Ellisons. He loves the propaganda they do for him on CBS and, you know, the Barry Weiss propaganda machine and all that shit. So I don't really see that being an obstacle. I think it's going to go through. I think, you know, the Netflix stuff, it was close, but it was it was never going to happen in the grand scheme of things. There's just too many, you know, there's too much influence at work there, and there's too much money at stake, to be honest with you. Like Paramount offered a lot of money, and investors, whether they're TKO, WBD, doesn't matter. Money is all they're concerned with. Driving profits is how you show not only value for your company and investors, which is what they tout about. A lot of these people are just like really selfish, ego-driven ghouls. That's really what it comes down to. A lot of people, like CEOs, like rich people, their value is determined almost entirely by, you know, hey, I closed this deal for X amount of dollars. They want to be able to say that. When you get to a certain level, that's what you're about. And I think that's like what's driven a lot of the consolidation and purchasing of all of these media entities, not just by the Ellisons and their propaganda machine, but like by other ventures as well. That deal is as good as done, I would say. Demolition definitely deserves it. Shout out to Demolition for the Hall of Fame, by the way. They're long overdue. And I know the 2K community, a lot of you creators have been getting really comfortable there, shitting on Demolition, shitting on the golden era of professional wrestling. Go watch wrestling, guys. Y'all don't even know. Fucking kids over here. But shout out to Demolition, of course. The fuck you is the content. What's some of these content creators out here? Oh, Demolition is what we don't care. Shout out Kenny Baum. I love you, Kenny. Anyway, I think Anna Jay is likely going to re-sign with AEW. I'm less optimistic every day about that. What was great about the Netflix deal is that there's no overlap, meaning no job loss. David Ellison's ambition is clouding his judgment at the expense of working class. I definitely agree with that last part. There would still be job loss if Netflix closed the deal. By virtue of there being a deal, a merger, jobs were going to be lost. It is just an unfortunate, sad reality of the world and corporate structure that we live in. I wish it was different. It's not. I think the deal for AEW probably would have been better had Netflix bought it. But even though they're all in on WWE, I think Netflix is looking at it more like, well, we want to own wrestling. Like, we want to be the distributors of pro wrestling, not just WWE. I think that's certainly something they could have done. And I don't think WWE has an exclusive. I don't know, but I don't believe that WWE has an exclusivity deal with Netflix. Fair enough, but didn't you say the same thing about Private Party? Their contracts got extended. In my defense. Look, I'm not. This is not a report. I'm not like I. These are predictions, not spoilers, based off of like the information that's out there. I don't pretend to be a reporter. I don't pretend to be a journalist or anything. I'm giving you reckless speculation based off of what I read and my what I like to think is good, understanding of how to be literate in this media environment. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Anna Jay becomes a world champion. WWE Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, being a joke. Demolition belongs to the Hall of Fame. Now, who else did they announce for the Hall of Fame? Oh, by the way, Hall of Fame being at like midnight is insane work. Insane work. We got AJ, shout out. We got Stephanie, shout out. We got Demolition. Oh, there's some good. No, listen. Demolition belongs in the Hall of Fame. We can't be saying they're a joke. We can't be saying they were a joke. Now, last year we were. What were we doing? We inducted a moment into the Hall of Fame. Okay, I will say this too. This kind of pissed me off. How did we induct Kamala into the legacy wing of the Hall of Fame when he was around in the 90s? Like, in the same draft class, right? The same Hall of Fame draft class as the natural disasters who teamed up before Kamala got to WCW in 95. Like, come on, bro. If you're gonna induct someone, hold off on it. I hate this. I really hate this legacy bullshit. Ivan Koloff should have been in the Hall of Fame. He should have been in the proper Hall of Fame. I hate this legacy bullshit because it's just a way for WWE to feel good. Look at us acknowledging the past that you marks think we don't do, and then not doing shit, not having people talk about them, not educating people on what they meant. Ivan Koloff is genuinely one of the most important figures in the WWF's history, and barely a mention of him leading up to the Hall of Fame last year. Dory Funk Sr., who he didn't give birth, but is the father of two of the biggest legends in the history of this business, Dory and Terry Funk. And they're like, come on. Like, I hate this. I hate this. Like, WWE wants you to be dumb fans. WWE wants you to be simple-brained, know-nothing, stupid fans. That's what they want. I'll go back even further. This is rage-baiting the hell out of me. It is rage-baiting the absolute hell out of me right now. And it's working. No. Where is this? Where is this? Because they definitely had this legacy wing before. They did this legacy wing bullshit before. Where is it? I'm going back to 2020, 2021. Where is this? Who else can I crash about? Legacy wing. Ray Stevens. Dr. Death Steve Williams went into the legacy wing of the Hall of Fame? Bro, cancel Christmas on the Hall of Fame. Actually, it's a fucking joke. Actually. Astaghfirullah, it's Ramadan. I gotta chill. I have to chill. If the Netflix deal did approve, Ted Sarandos would keep both HBO Max and Netflix separate because AEW next media rights deal will improve and will stay on HBO Max without merging into Netflix. I mean, I think it'll probably merge regardless. I think AEW is gonna be fine in that respect. So we'll see. I'm sorry, I rage baited myself with this Hall of Fame by expecting WWE to be a competent company that cares about the history of professional wrestling, but they really don't. So here I am, the fool. Here WWE is making all the money in the world. And here you are, all of you wonderful people in this chat for this stream. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for tuning in, for showing out. Ramzan Kareem, Ramzan Mubarak. Thank you to everyone. My love, my heart goes out to everyone, including the 158 school children or 150 plus school children who were massacred in that act of terrorism in Iran. Regardless of where you stand on any conflict, I don't give a shit where you stand on any conflict. Keep children out of it. There's been too many children already killed, and unfortunately, as we are seeing in Lebanon, as we're seeing all across right now, we're just. It seems to be just the beginning, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to no end. So please. You can donate to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. I donate to them. You can donate to a lot of causes on the ground. Sammy for Syria as well is a great cause run by Sami Zayn. So please go look into that and do your part if you can. Until next time, I am Big Ohm. This has been Big Ohm Live. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real. Bye, guys.